Hi everyone, it's John here. Today we're going to have a look at the Daily Smart BMS app, and we're going to take a detailed look at just how effective it is in controlling all the functions, features and parameters on your Daily Blue Series Smart BMS, which has the active battery balancer built in. So I do hope you can join me and enjoy as we walk through the app to see just how effective it is in controlling all the functions and features, and see exactly how you can adjust all the parameters using the app to operate your BMS in the most effective way possible, suiting your exact needs. So join me now and let's have a walk through the app and just see how effective it is. Now let's take a look at how the Daily Smart BMS app works on the Blue Series BMS, which has the built-in active battery manager to monitor your batteries 24/7. So let's have a look. Now my particular Blue Series Daily BMS is just connected currently via Bluetooth, so I haven't yet got the Wi-Fi module, which is on its way. So built into this particular unit, unlike the Red Series, in the Blue Series the Bluetooth facility is actually built into the BMS and doesn't require an external module to connect to Bluetooth. So that is one difference. So it comes as standard with Bluetooth built in. So to access it, I'm on the start page of my app here. We have to switch to local monitoring, which I'll do, and then it gives you the option here, local monitoring or remote monitoring. So we need local monitoring for the Bluetooth device, and it's just joining up here. You'll see my, I've called it Scooter Daily Blue BMS. It's just connecting, so we'll just wait for that to connect. One thing you need to do is, if it's been over 5 minutes basically, and you've left the setting standard, the BMS goes into sleep mode. So if that's happened, you need just to power up your bike or scooter just to fire the BMS back up. So now you can see Scooter Daily Blue BMS is now live. If I tap on that, it now will bring me back to that status screen. So this is my second 60 volt 20 amp hour battery pack, fitted with the Blue BMS with the active battery balancer built in. So let's have a quick look at the status screen. You can see again we've got the voltage, no current being drawn because we're setting stationary, capacity of the battery, the cell string maximum voltage 3982, the cell string with the minimum voltage, the average voltage of all the strings, the 16 strings, voltage differential, and if we scan down, the temperature probes are reading 29 on both the probes inside the battery pack. The BMS is at 30, and then you've got the 16 strings with the highest voltage one in red and the lowest voltage one in blue, and all the others shown there. So that's that. So parameter setting is exactly the same, so we don't need to go through all of this. I've got my parameters set exactly the same on both batteries because I actually have my batteries, my 260 volt 20 amp hour batteries are connected in parallel. So you can do that using these BMSs. You just have to make sure that both packs are within a maximum of 1 voltage difference, and before you connect them together in parallel, you have to go into the parameters setting and turn off the discharge switch on both batteries. So you turn off that discharge switch, you connect both your battery packs together in parallel. Once you've done that, you can then go into the app and on both battery pack BMSs turn back on the discharge switch. That's just a little bit of background for you. So going back to the status display, we've gone through that one. We can see what's happening there. Now this is different to the red one because now we've got a box here for active balance that actually works because we've got the balance module included. So if we click on that, and it asks you, do you want to switch it on or not? They call it determine, but it just means switching it on. So we just click on that, and just waiting up, it'll come. So this is now just looking at the parameters for the active battery balancer within the BMS. So what it's telling us is that it will use a 1 amp current to balance the battery cells, maximum of 1 amp. So if it has to discharge one of the strings, one of the high voltage strings to bring everything into balance, it will do that at a maximum of 1 amp. It's telling us we've got 16 battery strings. Oh, and as you can see, sorry, you can again change these parameters, but you can't go greater than 1 amp. You can reduce it, can't go greater. You've got your number of battery strings. You've got your discharge high temperature protection. You can change the value. Discharge low temperature protection. Again, you can change the value. Sleep time, so it will go to sleep if it's not doing anything after 5 minutes. And we've got it set so that the differential voltage between the strings, it will balance down to 0.01 volt. Again, you can change that. And on mine, I've got it set that the open start voltage is 4 volts. So if my cells are over 4 volts, or any of the strings are over 4 volts, the active battery manager will come on and balance those strings down to a maximum of 4 volts. And I've got the cutoff voltage set at 3.8 volts. Balance switch is on, you can turn it off, so if you don't want the balancer working, you turn it off. Now the beauty of this system is, whereas on the normal BMS, and for instance the Daily Red Smart BMS, which I have in my other pack, it balances the cells in the normal way that a BMS operates. So in other words, where I've got mine set to 4 volts per cell, or per string, it will connect to the, when you connect to the charger, it will charge up until the first string hits 4 volts, and then it will cut that string off, and then it will gradually bring all the strings up to 4 volts, balancing the pack. Once they're all reached 4 volts within 0.01 of a volt, the charger will cut off. It will cut the charger, cut the charge. And of course you can change the voltage that you want this to happen at. I like it to a maximum of 85%, 4 volts per cell. So that's how mine works. Now, once it's cut off the charge, the battery pack's balanced, and it just works in the normal way. The balancer won't come on again to do any cell balancing until you next connect it to the charger. Now, with the blue BMSs, the big difference here is that the active battery manager monitors the state of charge of your individual strings all the time. So whatever you're doing, whatever happens, it will attempt to balance those cells to the values that you've set. Now this is great because I don't need to be connected to the charger to know that my cells are going to be retained in perfect balance according to the values that I've set here in the parameters. So this is the big difference. It is monitoring your battery and can balance them 24/7. So this is really, really good. So if anything will happen to one string, it for some reason went high voltage, whatever, even if you're not connected to the charger, the balancer will come in and bring that back. So this is really good. Parameters basically are the same as the normal red Smart BMS. You've got your charge switch and your discharge switches, data upload switch, heating switch off, and all the other functions are basically the same. The big difference is having the active battery balancer parameters that you can set. Going back to the status display, this is back to your front screen. One thing I would say is that if you do buy the red Smart BMS series, you can buy an additional module to plug into the UART port of your BMS. It's a daily smart active battery balancer module. They do all the various ones depending on how many how many strings of batteries you're using, what your S value is on your battery pack, so you can get the matching active battery balancer to match your BMS, plug it in and use it. Just means you've got two boxes and you've got more wiring to do, because both the active battery balancer and the BMS both need the sensor wires connected. So you need to run another set of sensor wires. So for instance, on my scooter here, if I put an active battery balancer on the red BMS, I'll need to connect another set of 17 wires and a plug, in a Y-lead configuration, to plug in to the battery balancer module. So when you've got the blue series where it's all integrated, of course you've only got the one connection on the battery sensor leads, which is much more convenient. So that's about it. That gives you a good overview of how both BMSs work, and there's a lot of information available online from Daly, so you can download their manual and you can check out all the functions and features on their website. So I hope this was of interest and you found this of value. Thank you.